Hello beautiful people, welcome to Kate's Space. It's Kate here and I'm just going to do a little flip through of this journal I've just finished. For those of you who don't know, I'm doing just a 3-month little stint on a design team for Nathalie, who has an Etsy shop called Line.Arrow, and she produces really beautiful digital kits for people to make junk journals from. And if you remember, I used her blue Delft kit last month and did a little no-sew open spine journal based on something that Heather from Ruby and Pearl had done. I really enjoyed making that and I'm quite keen to do another one. This is an A5 journal, fabric covered, one signature. It has 20 pages, so that's 80 sides, and it is fabric with some card, just a file folder in between, and then a lace or a piece of linen with some crocheted lace around it, also sewn on. So yeah, so basically it's an A4 piece of paper folded in half, but the cover's slightly bigger than that because you want I wanted my pages to be protected by the cover. I've made a little, I'm not sure what they're called, a little cabochon with a little rose on it, so that's a little, just a little piece of part of the kit. And I've used some clear embossing powder to make that nice and shiny. I'm going to take it off. I think it comes off with this. So this is just, I've just tied it up with some sari silk and a strip of the fabric that is covering the journal. And yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. I've wrapped this doily round and that makes a pocket on the inside back cover. So let's open it up. So on the inside I've lined it with cardstock, just a real pale peachy pink I guess, and I've sewn that, and I've made a little belly band thing out of some ribbon with some roses on it and some sort of crocheted lace, and in there I've tucked a vintage postcard. It doesn't have any writing on the back, but it has roses. So I'm using the vintage rose kit from Nathalie's shop, and I'll link that below. I printed some of the items onto some cardstock, and I've also backed that with some tea stain. This one's coffee tea stain cardstock, and sewn around for a journaling card. These are some of my favorite vintage pieces, and these are like the covers of the vintage sheet music, and I've just sewn some lace down here, and these are some little vintage tickets that I've just paper clipped there. And over the page is a little tag that I've made with some pink velvet ribbon, but again it's got the rose and a little button and some, there's a few little French knots there, and some snips and scraps of linens and lace. I've put this vintage fabric, I got a length of this vintage fabric from my friend in Thames, Lynn, and it's just a narrow strip, but it had the roses on it, so I thought, I'll make a little flip and sew that on, and there's the music of the other side, and I've just put some embossed piano player music there, so you can see the music peeking through the gaps. I thought that was quite cool. This is the first pages of the digital. I've used some gesso and cream acrylic paint on the pages, and I've coffee stained the back, and I've done a little bit of stenciling with a rose stencil that I have. This is some vintage like ledger paper. This is a vintage French receipt type thing from 1938. and I've reinforced that with some masking tape. I've done a little bit of napkin decoupage in various places through the journal. There's another of the digital pages. This is a little paper bag pocket. It hasn't got anything in this one. I've sewn down the sides, and that's napkin on there. This little tab is from the kit. There's a few little tabs, and I've just decorated the bag. You can write on here, and that's a fussy cut rose. This is just some plain lovely, quite not heavy but nice robust cream paper. This is a scrapbooking paper I've had forever. So long, and I've obviously tea stained at some point and thought about using it and never have, and I don't know why, I just thought this really went well, and I just folded it over because I like this lovely decorative edge. And I made this journaling card with an index card and part of the kit, and just sewed some of the velvet ribbon on, and that just can tuck up in there. This is a vintage New Zealand pricing prescription book from the 50s, and a little envelope here that's been altered, that's also from the 50s. In the envelope I have put one of my vintage Bank of New Zealand checks from 1929, and just a piece of the ledger that I've used earlier. And I've used some old sellotape. I always save old sellotape so I can re-stick it onto things, because this has made the page a little bit weighty, so I just wanted to reinforce it there. And there's a washi sticker there. This is an image that I had printed out a long time ago and done some light tea staining on, but again, I love the rose. And funnily enough, I think this image is used somewhere in Nathalie's kit as well. But it was already pre-folded, obviously going to be used for another journal, and I didn't put it in. But yeah, so that's cool. And I sewed some lovely light pink lace down there. It's one of my favourite things to put in journals. It's that account book, and I always put the 2 pages in because I like the feel of that paper. Just some lined note paper that I got from a second-hand shop. This is some lovely, I don't know what you call this, embroidered lace. It's not lace. But anyway, embroidered trim. My sister gave me that. She gave me quite a decent amount too, so that's really lovely. It's so pretty, and it goes really well with the kit. And here's a couple of journaling cards I've made from the kit. I've sewn around. That's got some white cardstock, and that's got some old ledger on the back. Coffee stain the back of the digitals. This is some lined note paper that I picked up at a second-hand shop, and again I've reinforced that with masking tape. This is some of the avocado dyed paper I did a while back, and with some decoupage napkin, some music transcript paper with a little pocket and a tag that's backed onto some manila and some sari silk. There's another of the digital kit pages. I love this image. This is out of, I don't know, I think it's some book that I took apart and tea dyed a long time ago. But I love this little, I don't know why I put it in the book. I guess because they're picking flowers and the whole rose theme, but I just love that image. And there's this rose on the back. Oh, it's like a date book. Might be even a birthday book, I'm not sure. Again, some more of the avocado dyed paper, and in the center I put this image that's from obviously a rose book, and it's got a bit of coffee staining on it, and I've done a little bit of stenciling. And in the middle I've stitched this with a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. I've put a couple of lovely glass beads that are beautiful and pink and have little, well, they don't really have roses on them. They kind of look like little pink blobs, but they're really pretty, and I thought they went really well with this book. I had this kind of rose flower trim, so I decided I was going to just add that. Even it's not pink, it's just a beautiful cream, but I think it looks really great. And again, some more of the the napkin, another of the pages from the kit, and a tag backed onto a manila file folder. Another one of the tabs just popped on there for some more decoration. This is just some rose washi tape that I've put on there, just more reinforcing for that lovely, it's quite a light writing paper from a notebook. Another digital, I just made that so it just folds out. So we're just onto the other side of the signature now. It's just one signature. And a little ruffle from the same fabric that the cover's made from. And in here I've got a little vintage cigarette card, and I've just tucked in here a little a rose card, and this is actually, you can use watercolors on there, and just a little rose notepad piece of paper from a little rose notepad I have. Just clipped in there. This is a fussy cut onto that prescription pricing table. This is a journaling card I made a while ago, but I found it and it's got the rose on it and a little vintage New Zealand stamp, so I thought I would add that, some place for journaling. And a fussy cut rose on a piece of avocado stained doily. The other side of the paper bag, which I've collaged, and this is from the kit, and on the back I've just put some old ledger and a little ruffle and a piece of paper torn out of an old 1950s diary. I think that looks better this way. And that's the other side of the digital, and the other side of this vintage receipt. Again, I've just put a little bit of sellotape there. This is the other half of the vintage ledger, and I've left that, I've folded it so it's I haven't cut it. I've used the whole, well, I've cut the bottom off, but I've used the whole width. Another little pocket, and I've just popped a little bingo card in there, which has got some coffee dyed paper on the back. And that's part of the kit, and the other part of the music paper. And I haven't sewn that down because I love the image on it and everything. So, and I loved this as well. I didn't want to take anything off, so I've left it just so it opens and you can do whatever you want with it. And here's just a little, I don't know, just a little collection of fabrics. It's a little piece of a embroidered linen, and a piece of vintage lace, and some more of that rose trim, and a key, and a little covered button that I've covered with some embroidered, you know, linen, and I've just clipped that onto the lace. And here is a pocket, so I've turned the wrapped the piece of linen round and sewn it, and you can tuck things in there, but I haven't tucked anything in there. And that's the end of that journal. I really loved how that's come together. I've really enjoyed making it. I've got another one on the go, which I'm raring to get back into. So this one's finished, and I think I'll put this up for sale in my Etsy shop, which is linked below, or you can private message me. My Instagram and my Facebook page will be down below if you want to contact me via those options. So that's my vintage rose journal. I hope you like it, and thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope everybody is well and you're looking after yourselves, and I will see you again soon in the next video. Thanks. Bye.